I'm Oliver Slope with Blue Line Futures, coming to you from the Chicago Board of Trade with another episode of Tech Talk. It is Tuesday, October 26th. We've got three markets for you: corn, wheat, and live cattle. A little something for everybody today. To kick things off, we'll pull up the December corn contract. This is the chart that we've been talking about for several weeks here in the Daily Grain Express. We've been talking about 543 to 548 being technical resistance, which is the top end of the range, the 50% retracement, as well as the 100-day moving average. That's typed in as a 50 there. We'll replace it with the 100, and you can see that this is a brick wall for the market. So far on the first test, the market has failed. As mentioned in the past two morning reports, we like selling against technical resistance. That doesn't mean that we're looking for the bottom to fall out. It just means we're looking for the market to settle into a trading range, which is also kind of another talking point that we've been hitting on. Once you get past 50% harvest, you start to see a little bit more of a choppy trade because there's not a lot of new news to give the market significant direction. If there is a catalyst that presents itself and we do break out above here, that would be the spot to take your medicine, move on, and to wait for another opportunity to present itself. But as it stands, the risk reward against technical resistance, we like leaning on the sell side, especially with producers who need to help hedge some of their product. Now, moving over to the wheat market, wheat I'm pulling up just because it was a roller coaster, and you can't really see that here in the daily chart. But if we look at the intraday chart, I'll pull up a 5-minute chart. This is where we opened last night. We sold off about 16 cents from last night's open to the floor open. We proceeded to rally about 17.5 cents, just narrowly eclipsing the last night's high and likely triggering some stops as well. And then that brought us back all the way to where we essentially opened today's session. So a lot of volatility in this wheat complex, and we expect that volatility to continue, especially with the Minneapolis wheat trading at very elevated levels, and rightfully so. But that volatility is going to spill into the broader wheat complex and keep things interesting here for the near term. If you look at the daily chart, the bulls are still in full control here until this until this trend line is broken. But there's a little bit of thin air up here as we retest some of these highs that we saw back in May, and then the contract high back in August. So that's what we're looking at for the wheat market. To wrap things up, we are looking at December live cattle. We've been talking about technical resistance, and this in the daily reports as well. And similarly to corn, you've got the 100-day moving average as well as the 50% retracement, or basically the middle of the range from these highs back in August to the recent lows in October. We've been looking for a catalyst to get us out above this pocket, because if we can chew through this 131.5 level, I think that opens the door for this market to move higher based on fund flow. The managed money participation has been lackluster recently. We've been waiting for a fundamental catalyst to get them excited about being long this market. Last week's cattle on feed report could have been the catalyst to start to renew that optimism. But we just need to see this technical breakout to kind of lure some of these funds back in the market. And one more thing before we sign off. We do post a lot of these charts intraday on our Facebook page and our Facebook group, Ag Chat Without the BS. So if you haven't found it there yet, go ahead on Facebook if you've got an account. Find it again, Ag Chat Without the BS. We update charts and a lot of commentary throughout the day so you can stay up to date. So that's what we're looking at. That's what you should be looking at too. This has been Oliver Slope with Blue Line Futures from the Chicago Board of Trade. Remember, trading futures and options involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Thanks a lot.